Hey, Paul, what is your favorite galaxy? Well, we live in the Milky Way, but supposedly there are millions of galaxies. Well, do you have a favorite one? Galaxy Little League? Wow, a little off topic, but does that does that still exist? I, I don't know, but I never knew where Galaxy Little League was. Where was it? You never knew. I played Galaxy Little League one time when I was playing at Pacific Coast Little League, and one of the players told me that their nachos were out of this world. Welcome to another episode of the Mighty Code Coder. I'm Rob Fitzgerald, here to make you great and help you innovate. In this episode, we are going back into Cloud9 to learn with Java. Before we begin, let me tell you a story. A few years back, I was able to get my hands on some pretty good content for my APCSA class. It wasn't given to me by the source, it was given to me by a teacher who went to AP by the Sea in San Diego, California, and said that the instructor's material was done really well and helped him out a lot. The instructor that summer was Mr. Liu from Loyola High School in LA. Well, why am I telling you this? It is because Mr. Liu passed away suddenly in 2018. I used his content in my classes and found it to be really succinct, meaning the lessons were clear, but then he did these review cards that really brought it all together. I never got a chance to thank him. Well, in his honor, I want to redo some of his lessons here and bring these lessons back to life, up to date, and in Cloud9. So this is a tribute to Mr. Liu and a great way to learn the basics of classes in Cloud9. I taught Mr. Liu's material to my last two APCSA classes in a row. And it was then I realized through his lessons that computer science can be boiled down to data. Yep, that's right. CS is just the manipulation and transfer of data. It wasn't until the second year of teaching Mr. Liu's material and going over his review cards that it dawned on me. We define data, whatever it is, being a string, int, maybe an array, or what we're going to talk about today, a class. You manipulate the data by adding or subtracting it or changing a parameter. Then in the end, you port it somewhere else. If you could simplify everything into wrapping up data and passing it around, CS will click for you. If you get caught in all the algos, short for algorithms, which are important, but don't forget what's really going on here. Transporting data. If you remember this, you won't get confused and turn away from computer science and find something else to do, like throwing clay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Mr. Liu made all this a snap for me. So let's log into AWS, select Cloud9, and be ready to write our first class. So before I get going on that, I'll just show you one of those cards. This is one of the cards he made. He made 6 of these cards. He boiled down the entire study of computer science APCSA into 6 cards. And I give them to my classes every year, and I'm going to give them to this class also. This is the first card. He just goes over the fundamentals. You should know what all these things do, okay, in the end. And each card will go over, some of the things. All right, so let's go back. Let's go into Cloud9. I have my Cloud9 already open here, and I will try to make it accessible. You can see that there is my folders I made last time, classes and SRC. All right, and this is my terminal where I'm going to compile some code in here. All right, now you can use the run Don't forget that. But I'm going to use the SSH because I want to compile. I'm going to write my source code in this folder, and I want to compile my classes into that folder to stay organized. Okay. All right. So let's start. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a Java template, and I'm not going to use what comes local in it. Okay. So let me go up here. All right. And I'll go File, and I will New from Template, and I'll come down here to Java Console Application. All right. Now this stuff here is good, but I'm going to write a class, and this is more like a driver, and we'll call it a driver later on. But for right now, I'm just going to delete everything in here and start over, and I'm going to call my class My Phone. For those that had Mr. Lou's class, you know right where I'm going. All right, so the first class is going to be called Public Class My Phone. Now, the class, the constructor, and the name of the file should all be named the same. So I might as well go ahead and save this now. And let's save it as myphone.java, and we'll save it in our SRC folder. All right, hit save. All right, let me come up and finish this introduction here. All right, so in a class, Mr. Lou used to refer to every class has a big three. Okay, so this big three topic, or this, how he labeled this, will come back in his review card. So you want to definitely get this down. So there's three things that should be in a class. Number one, instance variables. Okay. Two, a constructor. Okay. And three, a toString method. We'll talk about that later. Let's first go back to the instance variables. Okay, so instance variables that we want in this particular file would be something like, since we're creating an object, a phone, let's go ahead and make some instance variable. What data would a phone hold? Well, it might have storage capacity, so I'll make it private data, and I'll call it memory capacity. Okay, now we're just going to declare the variable. We're not going to set its value. All right. Now, you also have to say what type of data is in there. I forgot. So let's make this an int, and this is private. Let's do a cost of the phone, and let's make the cost a double because it's going to be like a $2.99 deal. All right. Let's make the type of carrier it has. So let's make this a string, and let's call it carrier. And then let's make a Boolean and see if it has Wi-Fi or not. Okay, so Boolean, I think that's lowercase actually. And you see how I know that because it doesn't turn colors. If it turns colors, I know I'm doing right. And in an IDE like Cloud9, it's actually going to tell you when you're doing it wrong, just by color. Okay, is Wi-Fi on? Okay, something like that. All right. So those are your instance variables. Now later on, we'll also be calling these instance. Oops, we got to actually comment these numbers out. And I made this a 2. Did anyone notice that? It should be a 3. All right. And so we'll also be calling these / global. I don't know if anyone uses that still. I do, to try to help teach where I can use these. Since I declared them outside of method, now these can be global. I can use them throughout my program. I declare them once, but I can use them throughout the whole class. All right, so there's that. Now let's do the constructor. Very important topic. In fact, the next 2 videos will be on constructors. All right, so the constructor's name is the same as the class, same as the file name. So it's going to be public because other people are going to, you want other people to construct this. So you have to make it accessible to them. Okay, my phone. And it is a method, all right? And so you want to go ahead and write it like a method, okay? So it has 2 parentheses, all right? And so let's go ahead and set these class variables to such, all right? So let's go memory capacity equals 64, all right? Let's do cost equals, let's go $6.99. I had to upgrade that. Okay. Let's go carrier equals AT and T. And let's do, the last one was is Wi-Fi, and I like that code completion. Let's just quickly type it in and then hit return to put it on your statement. That's very cool, or on your program. All right, and let's just say false. All right, so there you go. There's my constructor. Now, before I get to this third part, the third part of the big 3, let's go ahead and run this because I want you to see what prints out if you don't have a toString method. It'll help drive home the toString method. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. All right, and let's go ahead and create another class. All right, now this is going to be the driver class. We're going to actually need that public static void main string args, okay, because this is going to be our first part. And usually when I do this, I give it the same name, but I call it driver. My phone driver, okay? And so the class name is the same name as the my phone driver, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and save this thing as my phone driver and save that all right. Very important that you save, okay? If you try to compile something before you save it, you're going to have some weird stuff. So there's 2 things you have to do. You have to save your file and you got to compile it. You got to do both. All right. So that could be some of your headaches in the future if you're finding that you're compiling something, you're not getting the data out of it that you wanted. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this hello world. And now I'm going to instantiate. That's a big word, but it stands for an instance. I'm going to instantiate that phone class. But I just want to let you know, it's no different than just go ahead and saying int num equals 5, okay? Or I could go string, my string equals new string, and maybe I put hello, I don't know. All right. So doing a class is the same thing. You got to do what type of data is it? So that's how we started doing these variables. So it is a my phone. Okay. And then what is the name of the phone? This one's called my string. This one's called num. What's ours going to call? I'll call it my cell. Okay. And then you're going to use the new word to instantiate it. And I'm going to call it, it's my phone that's going to be created. All right, and 2 parentheses because I'm calling the constructor to construct it. All right, now if I want to see what that did, I got to do a system.out. All right, and I'll do a mycell. All right, and we'll see what comes out. All right, and you're not going to like what comes out, and that's what's going to bring us back to the toString. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now, remember down in here, I want to go ahead and just compile them all in one shot. Does anyone remember that? All right, so it's Java C. Find the source path. And it's going to be src. And then I want to compile them to classes. And the files I want to do are source. And remember, star.star does everything in that folder. So let's hit that, return that and see if that works. Oh, we got an error. Let's see what happened. It's saying in my phone, I'm looking for a return type for some reason. And it says public my phone. Okay, let me see what I did wrong. Public class my phone. Line 12 is the error, so it doesn't like the way I said my phone. And so, oh, I see what I did. I have to basically put up a public my phone. It looks the same though. I think I'm okay there. All right, let's go try to figure this out. These are some of the little problems you'll have. All right, and let's go do the constructor again. All right, so I want to go back to my. Yeah, it looks good. Let's see. I just don't know what I did wrong. Public my phone. I'm gonna look at it again. Public my phone. Make sure. Oh, here is the real problem. See how I made this lowercase and this uppercase, so it doesn't have the same class name. So I got to go my phone like that. All right. So sometimes those little errors, it takes you a while to see them, but you guys probably saw it at home when I did it that I was gonna have problems there. All right. So as you make these errors, you won't make them again. So let's try that again. It's saying the same thing. I don't think I saved it, so let's save it. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now when you go in here, you'll see I have both the My Phone and the My Driver in that folder. And so let me CD over to that classes. Let me zoom in so you guys can see what I'm writing. I'm going to CD to classes. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and run the My Phone driver. Okay, I run it. There it is. It ran it, and it came up with this. Okay, so basically, it created an object, and it's saying the object this is its memory location. All right, but doesn't give us the data that was in it. So we want to do that, and that's the brilliance of Mr. Lou's toString method. And so let's work on that now. All right, so in order to put a toString method in, we are going to just simply write a method that returns the data that's inside the class. So we're going to go public string toString. All right. And then we're going to put what it should return. Now remember, if I have some kind of a data type here, that means it's going to return that. So there's got to be a return statement. All right. So I know already there's going to be a return. All right. And I'm going to name the variable it returns output. And so let's go now declare output. All right. So we're going to put string output equals new string output equals new string, sorry. All right, and then I'm going to say output equals. All right, we're basically now going to just write this big toString method. Okay, and I want the whole thing in one. I want it to separate spaces, so I'm going to do one big output string, but on different lines. So and we're going to use some \n's to make sure that we understand the output. Okay, so let's go memory capacity is, all right, and then I'm going to add the global variable memory capacity. There we go. And then I'm going to add the \n, which will take us to the next line. All right, we'll concatenate that and put the next one, which is going to be the cost. Okay, cost. Cost is space plus cost plus \n, \n. plus, let's do the carrier. Carrier to \n. Okay, so you get going pretty quick with this because Cloud9's helping you out. And last one, let's go to Wi-Fi on. Ask a question basically, and then let's Wi-Fi. Let's say Wi-Fi is on with a question mark. And then put a space there, and then put plus is Wi-Fi on. There it is, pops up for me. Don't have to remember how to spell it or how I concatenate or how I camelbacked it or anything. All right. All right, and that's it. And then return that output, and that should now give us a nice return statement. Okay, so let me zoom that back. Let's save that. Okay, it's all saved. Now, because that's new, I got to compile that one again. All right, so let's go ahead and go javac. Let's make sure I'm in the right file. Let's see, I'm not in the right file for right now. Okay, so I got to make sure I CD back to the other way. Okay, and now this one I'm going to go, let's go up, try to find that long statement. There it is. And instead of start at star, let's just compile my phone.java. All right, I think something like that looks good. And hit return. Whoa, a lot of errors, a lot of errors. So this was a big statement. So let's go back and look at it and see where we messed up. I see this end didn't turn green, so obviously there's some quotes that messed up there. So let's save that. And let's scroll back here. Let's clear this so you can see what's going on. All right, let's scroll in. All right, let's try it again. Yep, still some illegal characters. Now there's a lot of ends in here, and it's saying basically in line 24 that end's not right. And it isn't. Gosh, just trying to go too fast. I reminded myself to go slower, and you guys could put the speed up. But here I'm making errors. And then line 25, there's an error. Line 27, there's an error. All because of that quote was in the wrong spot. So that looks good now. Let's save it. And I have one more. Oh, return output needs a thing. Save it. We got it. Okay, so now we have it. And now what I want to do is I want to do the same thing again. I want to go ahead and go to that CD to that file. Okay, and I want to go ahead and run that phone class. My phone driver. All right, there you go. All right, so there's my memory capacity at 64, cost is $6.99, carrier is AT&T, and Wi-Fi is false. All from just putting in a two string. And remember, we didn't have to go back into our driver and run the my string. It just, as long as your class has a toString and you go to print that class up or that object up, it's going to try to see if it has a toString method. If it does, it's going to print out what's in it. And that's very nice. Okay, so very nice. Mr. Lou's Big Three explained very nicely there. And that should go a long ways. Okay, so I hope you liked it, and I hope you learned everything that you needed to in this video. Give it a try on your own. And again, I want to thank Mr. Lou for the setup. And I hope that your day is filled with joy. What, Paul? Oh, yeah. If they have questions, they can leave comments below or go to the website at www.themightycodecoder.com or find me on Twitter at mightycodecoder. See you later.